Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a wonderful guest in studio today. It's Dawn Hershik, and she's the Managing Director of Supporting Strategies. Dawn, welcome.
Thank you, Liz. It's good to be here.
Tell me a little bit about Supporting Strategies.
Supporting Strategies offers virtual bookkeeping and financial services to small and mid-sized businesses. We become their virtual accounting department, handling things like paying their bills, sending out invoices, making sure they have up-to-date financial reports. We customize our services to be whatever the client needs of us.
That's fascinating. I think there's a lot more call for having outsourcing of your bookkeeping because of that entrepreneurial spirit we've got going, a lot of new companies. And as a business owner, I want to do my thing. I don't want to worry about the bookkeeping. I want somebody really qualified. So as I grow, I don't necessarily be able to handle all of that.
Exactly. And for us, we're scalable. So we work with the client when they're new. They don't need a lot of bookkeeping. And as they grow, we can do more and more for them so they can concentrate on what's most important. And that really is growing their business and doing other tasks that are going to make their business successful.
That's right. Tell me, I'm fascinated a little bit about virtual. I think that's cool.
Yeah, so virtual, the two things you really need to have a successful virtual accounting system. The first thing is technology and making sure that you can deliver those services, however that happens. And the second one is having a strong team to be able to provide those services to the client.
Well, I think we've gotten so much more comfortable with the idea of virtual that it doesn't have to be under our roof, or I don't have to sit across from you. I can talk to you in many different ways.
Right. And if you think about it, technology today makes it so easy for clients to get information to us that we need, and it's much more efficient. You're not paying to have somebody sit in your office when there may or may not be work for them to do. They're only doing work for you when there's work to be done, which means you're only paying for that time.
That's great. Now you have this concept called a team of two, which I really like. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the team of two, each of our clients is assigned a team of two when they come on board with us. The first one is a dedicated associate who's doing most of the work with the client. And then there's a manager who's overseeing the associate's work. He's there, she's there to provide counsel to the associate or the client. And it just ensures quality process throughout. To make sure that things are getting done on a timely manner, that there's nothing inappropriate happening when it comes to the books, because that's really important to the business owners.
Right. Well, and it's that check and balance that we all want. We want two people, if not more, adding and subtracting and double checking, crossing those I's and those T's.
Exactly. The other thing it does, too, because the manager is fully aware of what's happening with that account, if the associate takes a vacation or is called away for an emergency, the manager then can step in and keep things going. Nothing is getting left undone.
Well, that's important because with as a small company, and if you hire another small accounting firm, you've got to have backup. And so that provides a nice backup.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about how you onboard a new client.
Yeah, so one of the things that we find important is to have a process in place for each of our clients. The first thing we do is schedule a kickoff call with the client and whoever else in their office they might want on that call. But it's important for them to meet the team, the manager and associate, and go through expectations, what they expect from us, what we expect from them, the timeline on when we think things will be happening, and talk about communication. A lot of people now prefer text instead of email. Some still like a phone call. So we put all that in place to make sure we know what the client needs and how to communicate best with them.
That's awesome. Well, and I think it's important for the client to have an opportunity to explain a little bit about their business to you and have you get to know what we do and how we do it, and more importantly, why.
Right, and that's one of the things we talk about during that kickoff call is over, 4 or 6 weeks, we're learning about their business and how they do things within that business, the procedures they have in place. And then as we work with them even further, we may be able to suggest different ways of doing things that they've been doing for years, but maybe we find a more efficient way for them to do those things.
Right, well, it's that outside perspective perspective, which I think is vital, and that's what a company like yours does, is give us a different viewpoint of how we've been doing things. Because we can get a little rutted, we can get a little, we've always done it that way.
Right, exactly, and we find that once in a while with some clients when they might not think of a different way, especially with changing technology. They may not be familiar with different things that you can do now that weren't available 5 or 10 years ago.
And what size companies do you work with?
We work with companies all the way from solopreneur up to 10 million in revenue.
Wow.
And anything in between.
That's awesome, because I think I love it that you're scalable, because I think that's so important.
Yeah, and the other thing to point out too is that we have an open capacity model. So as we get more clients, we just hire more people. So we never run into a situation where we can't take on a client because we don't have staff to handle that client.
You are ready for everything there, Dawn.
Right.
You're ready for everything. Thanks for stopping by and telling us a little bit about what you do. It's fascinating, and we wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.